Welcome to my channel. I'm Mr. Black Knight Scary. I'm so glad you found me. Please make sure to leave a like on the video as it helps my channel grow and reach more viewers. Enjoy the fresh content and be sure to subscribe now. And remember to click that notification bell so you guys don't miss a story in the future. I know there are thousands of channels just like mine that you could have chosen to listen to, so thank you so much for spending time with me. I truly appreciate it. To have your story featured on an upcoming video, email the link in the description box below. Thank you all for listening. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these truly terrifying Christmas light horror stories. Story number 1. The snow began as a whisper, delicate flakes swirling through the headlight beams as Emily and I set out to tour the town's Christmas lights. Mid-December in Hollowbrook always felt like a fairy tale. Streets draped in twinkling garlands, porches adorned with nutcrackers and reindeer, the crisp air carrying the scent of pine and cinnamon. Even now, as the world blurred into a soft monochrome haze, the magic lingered until I noticed the car. It was parked at the edge of the first street lot, a dented sedan so small it seemed to shrink under the weight of the snowfall. Emily leaned forward, her breath fogging the windshield. "Look, the Carters always do the Northern Lights display. Isn't that something?" She pointed to a house ablaze with violet and turquoise bulbs, but my eyes stayed fixed on the sedan. Its taillights flared as it idled forward the moment I shifted into drive. "Probably just someone admiring the lights too," I said, forcing a laugh. Emily hummed along to the radio, her fingers tracing the frost-spiked window, while I gripped the steering wheel tighter. The car followed as we went through neighborhoods, its movements too precise to be coincidence. Each time I glanced back, the driver's side window was down, revealing a shapeless figure wrapped in a dark hood. We made a game of it, driving to landmarks, downtown's life-size nativity scene, the high school's animated snow globe, each time spotting the sedan parked just out of reach. Emily's laughter, bright and warm, contrasted the growing chill in my spine. By the time we reached the outskirts of town, my hands were shaking. "Let's stop here," I said, rolling into the grocery store lot. The place was deserted, its awning sagging under the weight of the falling snow. I killed the engine, watching through the rear view as the sedan crept closer. My pulse roared in my ears. When its headlights snapped off, 3 figures emerged. They moved like wraiths gliding across the parking lot, as if the snow didn't slow them. I killed the engine and waited, my breath shallow. The sedan halted a car length behind us. Then the driver's door opened. "Hey man," a voice slurred through the cold. I turned off my dome light to see better. The man leading into my open window had eyes like wet coal, his face a roadmap of scars. Behind him, 2 others loomed, their breath clouding the air like smoke. "Your girl, real pretty. We want her," Emily gasped, stiffening in her seat. The second man laughed, a low sound like branches snapping. "Tonight," the first hissed, leaning closer, "or we take her right here." His breath reeked of rot. My foot slammed the gas. Tires screeched as I lurched forward, the sedan peeling out behind us. Emily's hand found my arm, white-knuckled. "What's going on?" "Call 911. I barked, my voice steadier than I felt. The rearview mirror showed the sedan gaining, its headlights 2 malevolent eyes. Snow fell harder now, a blinding curtain, but I knew the roads. I veered towards the station, the one place that felt sacred in the dark. The men didn't chase us down, but they didn't ease. When we burst into the police lot, sputtering steam, an officer met us with raised hands. Emily's sobs filled the cabin as I recounted the tale, my words fraying at the edges. "Did you get the license plate?" he asked us. I shook my head. "It didn't have one." The officer's expression hardened. "And the car?" "A 2003 Honda Civic, jet black, no snow on it." I paused. It looked like it'd been buried in a grave. They took our statements, but the station's fluorescent lights did nothing to banish the shadows. Back in the car, Emily trembled. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to. Panic? Get scared? You think I'm some delicate ornament?" Her voice cracked, but fury kept her upright. Next time, don't. Let me decide what I'm afraid of. I nodded, guilt sour in my throat. As we left the station, the town's Christmas lights glared through the snow like artificial stars. But in the rear view, I thought I saw the sedan once more, parked at the edge of the lot. Just a trick of the light, I told myself. But Emily gripped my hand tighter, and I wondered if the horror was really over, or if we'd only just unwrapped the first glittering layer of something far more dark. Story number 2. Every December, my parents turned the ritual of Christmas light viewing into something magical. My brother Ethan and I would pile into our old Suburban, a paper bag of sugar cookies and mugs of frothy hot chocolate between us, giggling as Mom played Guess the Caroler by humming lyrics over the radio. Dad would joke about the sugar rush waiting for us at home, but we didn't care. We were kids and the world was a glittering mystery where holiday lights danced on snow-dusted pines. The last year, the night began the same. We just passed the old mill pond where frozen geese silhouetted the stringed wreaths hung by the town's volunteers. When Dad slowed for a stoplight, the radio crackled and Mom leaned forward, whispering the next lyric, "Oh Holy Night." Ethan and I harmonized, our voices tangled in her laughter, but then Dad swore under his breath. "There's a car blocking the lane," he said, squinting ahead. A rusty car sat crossed diagonally at the intersection. Its taillights dim, engine off, no one inside. The kind of car you would assume had broken down until you noticed the deliberate angle, the way it pinned the road like a bear trap. "Maybe someone's fixing it," Mom suggested, but her voice wavered. Dad didn't answer. He gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white as if weighing a decision. Finally, he killed the engine and stepped into the frost-bitten air. I remember the stillness that followed. Ethan and I sipped our cocoa, steam fogging the windshield, while Mom stared at her hands, twisting a pen in her fingers. Then, a shout. Dad's voice sharp and wild, shattering the December quiet. My mug slipped, sloshing hot chocolate down my hand, but I didn't care. The back door of the rusted sedan creaked open. A man stood there, all shadow and bulk, a glint of metal in his grip. "No, Jack!" Mom's scream came too late. The man swung, a crack like a falling oak tree, and Dad crumpled, his body spilling into the snow. The man hesitated, staring at his hands, then turned to run back to the car. But he never got there. The driver's side door of the sedan yanked open, and another figure, same shape, same crowbar, yanked him back inside. The two men exchanged words. I couldn't hear over the roaring in my ears. The second man slid into the driver's seat. The engine roared to life, tires screeching as they reversed. The car lurching backwards over Dad's leg, still sticking out in the road like a severed branch. I didn't realize I'd been screaming until Mom's hands clawed at my shoulders, dragging me back to the present. The Suburban was already moving, tires crunching over black ice as she spun us around the taillights of the killer's car, vanishing into the woods. Dad didn't bleed much. That's what haunts me. Just a slow, glistening spread of red in the snow, like a flower blooming in reverse. They never found the men. No fingerprints, no witnesses. Just a rusty car reported stolen 3 days later in Omaha. Mom stopped humming after that. Ethan stopped talking. We sold the Suburban. Now, every December, I drive. My kids in the back, singing carols, clutching hot chocolate. The lights blaze safer and brighter than ever, but I still scan every intersection, every parked car, waiting. Last year, Ethan came with me to the mill pond. We stood in the dark, silent as ghosts. "He didn't scream for us," he said. "Just for Mom." I didn't know what to say. Some nights, I still hear that crowbar crunching in the back of the car, a metronome for the worst thing a parent can know, that the world out there is a rusted bear trap, and love isn't enough to keep your family whole. The lights twinkle on, we smile, and we drive. Story number 3. I'll never forget the Christmas evening that took a dark turn in my parents' neighborhood. The snow-covered streets were transformed into a winter wonderland. with the best Christmas light displays I'd ever seen. I took my 2 young cousins, Brian and Alex, on a walk through the festively lit streets, armed with hot chocolate and warm winter coats. As we strolled, the afternoon sun dipped below the horizon, casting a magical glow over the neighborhood. As we walked from street to street, I noticed a person in a Santa suit appearing near us. At first, I thought it was just a friendly neighbor spreading holiday cheer. Brian, my youngest cousin, was thrilled to see Santa and waved enthusiastically. Alex, on the other hand, seemed more cautious, his eyes narrowing as she watched the Santa figure approach us closer each time. I've always been cautious, carrying a Sig Sauer pistol in my backpack for protection. As we walked, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The Santa figure seemed to be following us, always lurking just out of reach. We quickened our pace, but the Santa kept pace with us, his presence making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up straight. As we turned back towards my parents' house, I heard the crunching of snow behind us. I spun around to see the Santa figure lunging for Brian, my heart racing. I pulled my gun and locked eyes with the man. He calmly stood up straighter, a sinister grin spreading across his face. "If you didn't have that gun, things would have ended much differently for you tonight, Tyler," he whispered, his voice sending shivers down my spine. My blood ran cold. How did he know my name? The realization sent a wave of terror throughout my body. This wasn't just a random predator. This was someone who had been watching me, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The Santa figure turned and disappeared into the darkness, leaving us shaken and frightened. As we hurried back to the safety of my parents' house, I couldn't shake the feeling that we just narrowly escaped something truly horrific. The Christmas magic that had filled the air just moments before had turned to dust, replaced by a sense of dread that lingered long after we reached the warmth and safety of my parents' house. As I looked at my cousins, I knew that this was a Christmas they would never forget, and one that would haunt me for the rest of my life. The question echoed in my mind. How did he know my name? And what did he have planned for us if I hadn't been armed that night? The not knowing was the most terrifying part of all.